November, 13 degrees, woo! Still no gritters. Right, I am finally going to Elgin for a coffee. I've not been there for weeks. I've kind of tried to be sensible as I can about being out and about. I've not seen Kenny for, well, since lockdown started back in sort of March, so missing the old mucker, so I'm going to go and catch up with him. Yeah, so just quick catch up again. I'd have a conversation or two recently about the Rapid Bike Easy modules for old Moosey Boy. Somebody mentioned that to me, not long after I got them, but I'd forgotten all about it, and then recently two people have asked about it. Once again, you know, this is my bike. I don't have a big budget to throw at it, just like most of you guys and girls, and so I don't have massive disposable income, and certainly don't have any manufacturers throwing stuff at me to try out and promote. So I kind of went with the booster. The Easy, I believe, is much and such the same idea, but you've got sensors that plug into your exhaust. So it was an option, but I went down the booster route. But then they've got the Evo version of that now. It's about 375 quid, I believe. Last time I had a look, it was anyway, and you can do a lot more with it. It's like you're almost tuning your bike then, so you can smooth it out, and I'm sure it's almost like having a power commander or something at your disposal, from what I'm being told. But the unfortunate thing with it is when I went online and had a look, it actually looks like a plate of spaghetti, the wiring diagram. I'm just looking at that going, oh my god. And I dare say, yes, I'd probably manage to do it if I got touring about it. I've managed everything else so far, you know, kind of been a bit daunting sometimes when things turn up in a box with some crappy photocopied instructions, but we've made it, haven't we? So the Evo would be tempting over and above a power commander. I think that was probably the route I would most likely go down. And I'm saying but, aren't I? And I'm saying but because I'm not all that keen on doing anything to the bike that would come under performance. So I've just done my insurance and all my little bits on it, and it kind of made me think about it. If I keep Moose, then fine, yeah, I probably will do it. But at the moment, it's still a bit up in the air, and I'm at that time of year, itchy feet, looking around, and that's probably worse this year than it's ever been. More for the fact that you're not getting out on the bike the same as usual. I'm really happy with them. I probably will keep them at least another year, but until I've made my mind up, I'm not wanting to go blowing nearly 400 quid on something that I can't use if I change manufacturers or models. So yeah, I'm gonna still do things like the brake levers and little bits like that. But I think any big expensive mods are, I'm just going to put them on hold for now. I bet a duck. No! Oh, you want a duck, don't you? Yeah, so I'm holding off. I'm not going to do any of the big stuff, and even the track day thing, everything's just up in the air just now, isn't it? I did get an email from Track Sense this week. In fact, I've had 2 from them. I'm on their mailing list, and I see they've had to sort of change how they normally do things. They're offering now, just because of all the red tape now that we're out of the old freedom of movement thing, they're offering to take 50 bikes out to Europe and keep them in lockups until such time as you need them at a track event, and they'll take it to the track event for you and then back to the UK. Or the other option that they're saying that you have is to van your own bike out, and obviously you get your accommodation and everything, saves you a bit of money, and you don't have the red tape to deal with, because they're saying if you put something in their lorry, like extra gear that you're obviously going to take with you, if you box anything up, create anything up, you have to fill in all the paperwork, and it'll have to go through customs, and if they open it and there's something there that shouldn't be there, you'll lose it, kind of thing. So if you take it in your own van, you just take your V5 with you, and just to prove it's your bike, and job done, innit? So yeah, they seem like a really good company as well. So I've not totally written off that idea. I just got a nervous kind of feeling about it, I've not done it before, and it's a big step, and I probably, after I've done it, or if I did do it, I'd be like, I should have done it years ago. So yeah, no Rapid Bike Easy for now, or Evo even. Watched a few videos on it. It's pretty bike specific. Some people, it's easy to put to the bikes, and then other people have to a lot of things to move around to make space to put it in or get the leads through the bike. But yeah, it is there. It is on the to-do list if I keep Moose, because I think an extra couple of horsepower wouldn't go amiss, would it? And yeah, the other day, to say I was gutted, kind of, I was very close to getting another bike, something totally different from Moose, a single 4-litre injection single. The brakes, they've got attitude because they're by Brie Larson. Yeah, you've sussed me. Yeah, sitting having a coffee, flicking through the Auto Trader app, having a look through the 401 Svart buildings, and there was one that was just over 50 miles away, and I'm like, no way. And it was honestly, it was 500 or 600 quid cheaper than all of the other bikes on the app, and just over 800 miles on it. And I was like, no, I am not missing out on this. So sent the guy an email through the app. I never heard anything back, so the next day used the app to get in touch with him, called him, and gutted. He's I think he's an oil worker staying in Aberdeen, but he sounded Norwegian, and yeah, he's going home. So he was selling his bike, and that's why it was so cheap. passed all the credit checks and everything, and that's how serious I was. I did all that, and I don't know how long it had been sitting there, but he'd obviously dropped the price enough to get a bite, and turns out one of his friends was literally just said he'd take it. I was properly gutted. I'd spent that whole 24 hours waiting to hear back from him. I'd been on YouTube and online trawling through videos and posts about what you could do to it. I was really excited. It's not going to happen though, unless I've left my contact details with him, unless it falls through. But that would have been Moose staying for sure. Two different bikes, someone else to do, and yeah, truck day would have been definitely knocked on the head. I was quite excited about that. Fell through though. So other than that, not much else happening. Oh yeah, literally posted that last video, and that day was the day that Yamaha launched the M209 SP, unveiled it anyway. Still not giving specs away with like what they've done with the suspension. They said they'd done something to it, but that was the main thing everybody moans about, wasn't it? The M209, wasn't it? And yeah, no word of what they've done to it, so we're going to have to wait for some test rides on it. But it's got that new face on it that nobody seems to like. I quite like it, I admit, I like it. It's got a nice solid sort of butch look about it, but it's almost like it's the headlight that you'd have expected on the last bike, and then the one that's on it now would be the new bike, if you know what I mean. It just looks like more of an evolution of the very first headlight. But I like how they've got rid of a lot of the plastic. It's more coherent sort of design. It's like, it just looks less bitty. I like it in that way. I don't know if I'd have one over a 790. I just like the engine character of a twin. I had an old Aprilia RSV years and years ago, and I always liked the character of the twin, but this one's even better. It's just so smooth. I like the noise it makes. I mean, you can be ragging it, hooning about. Nobody's giving you sort of dirty looks for making a noise, but I remember my last two triples that I had, alright, the exhaust didn't help, especially on the MV. They're a bit more in your face when you're misbehaving, so I don't know if I want to go back to that. So there's a new Ducati Diavo got launched on YouTube late last night. That's kind of prompted me to come through for a coffee, see Kenny, seeing as he had one. I pinged that to him and woke up to a pile of abuse this morning for being doing a B word to him. I don't know, he spent that whole message trying to justify to me why he didn't need a motorbike. This is the man with a garage full of cars and pickups. He doesn't need a motorbike. So I'm going to go in and tell him to grow a set. He needs a bike in his life. A few weeks back, Quick Quack dropped me a line, asked if I was going to do any of those sort of longer bike videos with just bike noise. Nothing like Shaft, I can't ride like that. He's got more talent in one little finger than I've got on my whole body, so I wouldn't even be thinking about competing with that fella. But if you want me to sort of do a couple of videos next year, without me rambling on, up north, nice scenery, just bike noise and video, let me know. I'm quite happy to post a couple of those. It's kind of good to have stuff like that in the background, isn't it, when you're having your morning coffees? So if you want me to do one, let me know, guys and girls. Quite happy to do a couple of those. And the camera there, I can do a couple of shorter 360 ones as well, where you kind of decide where you want to look. The sound is terrible on it though, so I need to somehow work out how I can. Yeah, I'll probably just have to record the sound separately on that, so I can put overlay a track on it. I did a short one this year over the Sky Bridge. I'll probably post that sometime over the winter. It's very short. It's just a different perspective on things. Try to mix it up for you. I know a lot of the bigger videos that I have, the ones with most views tend to be people looking at equipment for the bike that they're interested in themselves, so these ain't so big, they don't do so well, but they're the ones I enjoy making the most, so I'll just chuck them out there for my own benefit. If you've not had a look at my merchandise on Teespring, please have a look. I've started doing a couple of 890 sort of designs. Obviously can't mention brands like KTM or my gear, because I'll get hit with copyright and all that, so it's my stuff, and I've tried to make it obvious what kind of bike you ride without copying any of their fonts or any of their logos if possible. But pretty much anything that I sell on there, it just stays in the kitty, and once I've got more than 20 quid saved up, I will use that money to buy stuff for Moose or whatever else is sort of in the pipeline. At the moment I'm still thinking I'm sticking KTM. I just love this brand. Dean was saying the other night he'd heard some, he'd been reading in, I think it was Bike World or something like that, but yeah, he'd been reading a sort of naked bike shootout, and had the 890R in it, and he and it ended up saying the bike that should have won it wasn't there, and funnily enough they were talking about the 790. So again, I don't know, is that them saying, I haven't read the article, is that down to them saying that the 890 is just too extreme for day-to-day riding? We'll see in the spring. I'm going to go down to Drysdale's and ask them if I can have a go of one. They're bound to have one by then. Alright, I'm nearly there. I've rambled on long enough. If you're still here and listening, thank you very much. Appreciate it, folks. Great bunch of comments on the last video. Great when you guys get in touch. I really enjoy the feedback. Right, oh man, I can taste my flat white already.